Nwodo said Nigeria loses over $1 billion annually due to poor road infrastructure, but the real cost is in the damaged goods, delayed ambulance, stranded farmers, and lives lost because the nation's arteries, its roads, which are clogged from years of neglect.
A 2022 report by the World Bank estimated that Nigeria loses about 1 billion annually due to poor road infrastructure. Bad roads slow down emergency responses. Ambulances, police patrols, and even military find it difficult to access volatile areas.
In agriculture, the damage is worse. 40% of food produced in Nigeria, he says, never gets to the market, wasted due to insecurity and bad roads. Wodo proposes a road army of unemployed youths and engineers to fix this, boost local economies and reduce crime.
The Nigerian Stored Products Institute even estimates that up to 40% of food produced in the country never reaches the final consumer, likely due to transportation and logistics challenges. We have very qualified Nigerian engineers and youths who can be transformed into a road army. This road army should be equipped by joint funding of local government, states, and federal government.
But the story doesn't end on the road or in the farms. It continues in the schools, where inequality festers and same generations are set apart, children of the rich and those of the poor. Nwodo recalls a time when children of politicians and farmers sat in the same classroom. Now the divide is sharp. Schools for the rich, schools for the poor. He warns that this divide will only deepen societal resentment and possibly a violent revolution in the future.
In the education sector, a clear divide of schools for the wealthy families and schools for the poor families has come to see. This tendency breeds deep and growing sense of deprivation and bitterness that is likely to affect the relationship amongst this generation of our children. Notwithstanding the level of intelligence of a rich man's child, his child must go to a very good school or a very expensive school. Sometimes the admission is bought.
It's not just a class divide in education. Nwodo says even the university system and appointments into government are now riddled with compromise and patronage, eroding merit and patriotism. From professors who struggle to speak English to ministers who simply take a bow without proper scrutiny. Nwodo says Nigeria has abandoned the values of excellence, merit, and service.
Merit in our country has disappeared in appointments, in elections, and lately in award of university degrees. Sometimes you meet a professor who can hardly speak good English, and you begin to wonder how he wrote his thesis. He or she probably monetized the process. The worst situation is to find a minister who has been the equivalent of a director and who has never been the equivalent of a director in a ministry, or whose educational qualification and exposure is obtained in compromising circumstances.
To save the country, Chief Nwodo offers a simple but radical path forward: restructure, refocus, and return power to the people. He proposes that local governments and regions take control of their resources, invest in agriculture, digital education, and enforce security independently. He draws inspiration from the Netherlands, smaller than Niger State, yet the second largest exporter of food globally. Nwodo says Nigeria can do better if it embraces mechanized agriculture, empowers youth, and builds a constitution that truly reflects the will of the people.
There was only one reason why things worked so well there. We had a regional system of government that allowed regions to enjoy sovereignty over their natural resources whilst paying royalties and taxes to the federal government. Nigeria must restructure and give its component units sovereignty over its natural resources, provided they pay royalty or some form of taxation to the federal government to maintain federal responsibilities.
From broken roads to broken systems, one thing is clear: Nigeria's future cannot wait. In Abuja, I am Chimize Zadima for Signature TV.